So a subroutine can be considered as a smaller program within a larger program, and if you want to repeat something over and over again, a block of code, a few lines of code that you want to repeat over and over again, you can write them as a subroutine instead of repeating the lines again and again, having to manually type the lines again and again in the code. You can write the subroutine once and call it multiple times. So I'm not using events for this example because this is related to the homework that is being given in this week. And in this example, I'm just going to write a subroutine that's going to draw a circle with a width of 50 and a height of 50 and with a random color, and I'm going to call it 5 times. So we always start with sub space, any name would do, any name that does not begin with a number, or any name that does not contain any spaces. I'm just going to write A. After that, because I need the circles to be colored randomly, so I'm going to write graphics window dot brush color. Brush color is the property of the graphics window that decides the color for the shape. After that, an equal to sign and graphics window dot get random color. And after that, I'll just give a shape name because I'll have to move it to a random location. So I will need to use the shapes.move command. So R1, again the name can be any name that does not begin with a number and that does not contain any spaces. So shapes dot add ellipse, 50 is the width, comma 50 is the height. And now before I move it, because I want to draw the circles in random locations and because I'm not using any event, so I'm just going to generate 2 random numbers. I'm going to store them in 2 variables called x and y, and then I'm going to write those variables or mention their names in the shapes.move command. So x equals to math dot get random number. I can keep a maximum limit, it's not necessary right now, but 500. Y equals to math dot get random number. Again, the maximum limit of the random number, the highest random number can be 500, no more than 500. It's not necessary, but I'm just writing an example just to show. And after that, shapes.move, and the subroutine name, the shape name R1, and the variable x, comma the variable y, and bracket closed. And instead of storing these 2 random numbers in x and y, you can write this line directly after the comma that follows R1 and again after the next comma. So it's up to you how you want to do it. I'll just do it in front of you and show you that it works. I'll cut it from here and paste it here, and again I'll paste it here. I'll remove this line. I'll end the sub, and I'm going to call it around 5 times. Three, 4, 5. And if I run it, there we go. 5 circles, all colored randomly. These two seem to have a similar color, but they're in random locations, and that's one way to do it. If you're using events, then you won't need to call the subroutines manually by writing their names followed by empty brackets, because when you're using events, you want your subroutine to start when the condition for the event becomes true, when the event is actually triggered. For example, if I wanted to run this subroutine, when I press a mouse button, I would do this. I'll remove the calls. I'll just write graphics window dot mouse down, because I wanted to start when the only and only when the mouse button is pressed, equals to A. And unless somebody presses the mouse button, this subroutine won't start. So there we go. So if you're not using events, you have to call the subroutine manually like I did before. If you're using events, then there's no need to call it. With an event, a subroutine will only start when that event gets triggered, when somebody gives an input to the computer, either through the keyboard or through the mouse. And that's it for this tutorial.